religious problem. And we are looking at these problems because we said that Allama Iqbal, in a sense, confuses these two problems, or these two problems, religious problem and the philosophical problem, and in a sense read the religious problem in terms of the philosophical problem. So the religious problem is the problem of the status of this world and our life here, and its relation to its relation to the eternal, everlasting world and our status there, and practical implications for this reality as to how should we live our life in this world so that we can have a blissful life in eternity. Obviously, religion presupposes that the eternity exists and we have a life after death and all those things. Now, religious problem, then we have philosophical problem, which is a problem philosophy has been dealing with since the ancient philosophy and even before. But this philosophical problem, it takes its unique present form with the rise of modern philosophy, and especially with Descartes. And we look at this philosophical problem last time. And philosophical problem consists of two questions: metaphysical problem of the nature of reality, and the epistemological problem of how we know this reality. And the assumption we are working with here is that religious problem is independent of this philosophical problem. So you can have various positions about these philosophical problems, and you still can subscribe to the religious position. So your acceptance of the religious solution has no direct implications for whether reality is one reality or reality is dual, and how we actually know that reality, etc. I'm not saying there's no connection whatsoever, but there's these problems are different problems, distinct problems. And what Allama Iqbal does is confuses this problem, and not just confuses these two problems, but also tries to read religious problem in terms of the philosophical problems in such a way that religious problem is no longer identifiable in its traditional form. So that's what we have done so far. Now, last time we looked at the philosophical problem, and we looked at that metaphysical problem has at least two solutions within the modernist tradition. You can accept monism or materialism. Dualism. And monist can either be materialist or idealist. Some people use the term spirit, but spirit in modern philosophy just means mind or mental. So that's why idealist and spiritualist in modern philosophy is the same thing. And then there's the other tradition is dualism. And dualism says that reality, there are two types of realities, material and mental or ideal, and they are irreducible to each other. So then both monism and dualism, associated with them are various metaphysical problems as well as epistemological problems. For example, with dualism, they have the problem of the gulf between these two realities and how that gulf is bridged. And if these realities are irreducible to each other, then how can one reality know how one reality can know the other reality? For example, our mind, how can it know or access the material? And for monism, there is problem as well, both metaphysical and epistemological. Epistemological and metaphysical, one of the problem is how to explain the variety and multiplicity if every other reality has one nature, for example. How to obviously the multiplicity cannot be explained in terms of distinct realities. So how are you going to explain it? So how are we supposed to say that ideas and material world are basically made of the same stuff?